Morning. We're here demonstrating the Kleenmaid electronic touch gas cooktops. This model here is the GCTE 9010, and what I'm going to show you now is how to turn the unit on. We use the power button here. All of the burners are now active and alive. If I would like to turn this burner on, I touch the plus and minus together. I touch those, it brings it to a ready point. It is now doing a diagnostic check of the hob. It now turns itself on. The flame on the burner automatically goes to 3 or medium when it is turned on. It can be adjusted by just pressing up or plus, which will take it up to 4 or up to 5. Obviously, you can also decrease the flame size by hitting the minus button from 5 or full power down to 3, down to 1 in increments. One thing that's interesting, even though that is on 1, it is a very low flame. Obviously, that gives you more control of your heat. Kleenmaid has always had for many years a feature called flame failure. If you are sitting by a window and the flame goes out and the gas keeps going, that is a danger to your family. Flame failure actually detects that there is no flame and turns the gas off. The difficulty with a good cook or a mother having her food on the stove is if the gas goes off, the food is not cooking. The next generation of Kleenmaid gas cooktops, because they're electronic, can do a new feature, which is the gas goes off. It now is looking for the heat. When no heat is found, it turns itself back on. I'll show you another feature of the electronic touch gas cooktop, which is the automatic cooking mode. Here we touch the timer and the plus button at the same time. It starts the burner at the medium heat level, but in automatic cooking mode, and that is shown by the number flashing. The reason for the automatic cooking function is, as you can see, the gas is on, the stew is cooking, but you don't want that flame to be there all the time. You want it to be able to keep it at a simmer for a long period of time. The gas will turn off on its own. It will then cycle through and turn itself back on again, dependent on the level that you have the gas. So on a medium level of 3, it will turn off the gas for 30 seconds, turn the gas back on for 30 seconds, turn it off for 30 seconds. The benefit to this in cooking a long stew or a simmering sauce is that the heat is not concentrated on the bottom of the pot for long periods of time with no intermittence. What I'd like to show you now is the timer function, which is unique to an electronic touch gas cooktop. It means that each of your burners can actually be set to a timer function. So I'll turn the center burner on now, and then what I'm going to do is also turn another burner on at the same time. We now have 2 different pots cooking, a sauce, some spaghetti bolognese, a pasta, etc. What I'd like to do is I'd like to cook one of them for a longer period of time than the other. So I hit the timer function button, and this brings the timer on and shows me with the little red dot which burner it is attached to. So at the moment, I'll turn that back on. I go round and I want the center function. I hit the timer, go to the minutes. I want that to run for 2 minutes, and I set it. I now go to the front burner. I now would like to set that for a time of 2 hours. I set that. So the front burner is now set to turn off in 2 hours. the centre burner is set to turn off in 2 minutes. So again, if I hit the timer, I can see that when I go to the centre, it has 1 minute left. When I go to the front, it has 1 hour and 59 minutes left. This will now turn itself off within that minute. So as you can see, the timer has finished. It's giving us an indication by the beeping noise. All I need to do is touch that again, cancel the noise. The other burner is still going and has, if I go round, it has 1 hour and 57 minutes left to cook. Another feature I'd like to show you on the electronic sensor touch control gas cooktop is that because this is electronically controlled, you can see via the flashing H the burners that are still hot after being used. A great safety feature: if somebody's just come home or just come into the room, they can see that something is hot. On the right hand side here, this also graphically shows the red lights show which of the burners is also hot. If the hob is not actually switched on, the graphical representation is not there, but the flashing H still is. Another safety feature of the electronic sensor touch control gas cooktops is that they do have a child lock. The lock is available so that in 2 ways. You can lock the hob so that nobody can actually turn it on, as indicated by the small dot next to each of the burners. The other thing you can do is lock it while it is cooking, so that somebody can't turn the hob off or change the level or adjust the flame so that you can have that going. This is only available on electronic touch. You obviously can't do this on a manual cooktop.